Look around. Stress is everywhere. The alarm goes off, and before your feet even touch the ground, your mind is already racing. Emails, deadlines, bills, family responsibilities, endless notifications, all pulling at you at once. You grab your phone, scroll through other people's perfect lives, and suddenly, your own feels like it's not enough. By the time the day ends, you've been running nonstop, but somehow you feel like you're sinking. This is the world we live in today. A world that celebrates hustle but ignores peace. A world that tells you to do more, buy more, achieve more, without ever asking if you can breathe. And that's why so many of us feel like we're drowning in stress. But monks see the same river we're drowning in, and they use it as their training ground. Where we see chaos, they find clarity. Where we feel pressure, they find power. Where we drown, they rise. And today, I'm going to share with you 7 powerful lessons from the monk's way of life. Lessons that can help you stop fighting stress and instead transform it into your greatest strength. Stress is not the monster we imagine. It's energy. The problem is not stress itself, but how we respond to it. Most people treat stress like a storm they must resist, but the more you fight against it, the more it drags you under. Monks understand something most of us forget. Life's waves will never stop coming. You can either exhaust yourself trying to push them away, or you can learn to ride them with skill. When monks feel pressure rising, they don't waste time asking, "Why is this happening to me?" Instead, they flip the question into, "How can I use this?" Stress becomes their training ground, sharpening patience, resilience, and focus. Just as a surfer uses the wave's force to move forward, monks use the energy of stress to propel their growth. Think about it. Every great invention, every achievement, every transformation came from someone facing stress and deciding to harness it instead of collapsing under it. Stress doesn't have to be your enemy. It can be your greatest teacher, your partner in growth. Once you stop resisting and start riding, you realize stress isn't there to break you. It's there to build you. When stress strikes, it often feels like a flood. Your heart races, your mind spins, and suddenly, you're swept away. For most people, that first minute is pure chaos. They lash out, panic, or make quick decisions they regret later. But monks train themselves differently. They know the first 60 seconds after stress appears are the most powerful moment of choice. Instead of reacting instantly, they pause. One deep conscious breath, one moment of awareness. This simple act interrupts the spiral of stress before it takes over. Science even backs this up. Just a single mindful breath signals your nervous system to calm down, lowering your heart rate and clearing your thoughts. Imagine this. An email full of criticism lands in your inbox. Most people would fire back a defensive reply. But a monk would breathe, wait, and let the storm inside settle before choosing how to respond. That pause doesn't just protect your peace, it protects your future. Because stress doesn't ruin your life. Your reaction to it does. The 60-second rule is like holding the steering wheel firmly when the road gets slippery. You can't control the storm, but you can control how you move through it. And that 1 minute of control can save you from hours or even years of regret. In today's world, most of the stress we carry doesn't even belong to us. We absorb it from the outside, from angry coworkers, endless social media debates, toxic relatives, or even random strangers online. Every notification pulls us in. Every opinion demands a reaction, and before we know it, we're carrying the weight of other people's chaos. Monks live by a different rule. Not every battle is worth your energy. They protect their mind as if it were sacred ground. They don't let gossip, negativity, or outside noise invade their peace. Why? Because once your mind is cluttered with everyone else's problems, you lose the strength to face your own. Think about it. How often has your day been ruined not by your own life, but by something you read, something someone said, or an argument that had nothing to do with your path? That's borrowed stress, and it drains you faster than anything. Monks remind us, your energy is your most valuable treasure. Every time you let someone's chaos slip into your heart, you spend that treasure carelessly. Protect it. Be selective with what you let in. Not every opinion deserves a response. Not every notification deserves your attention. And not every argument deserves your peace. Because when you stop letting other people's storms enter your mind, you finally have the space to build your own calm. Modern life convinces us that more is always better. More success, more possessions, more options, more connections. But here's the truth. The more you pile on, the heavier the river of stress becomes. We're overwhelmed not because life is impossible, but because we've complicated it. Think about it. You wake up to 50 notifications, you scroll through endless news, you juggle dozens of tasks, and by the time the day ends, you've done a lot but accomplished little. That's not life. That's drowning. Monks, however, take the opposite path. They live by subtraction, not addition. They know that peace isn't found in chasing more. It's found in letting go of what doesn't matter. Their rooms are simple, their routines are focused, their commitments are intentional. By stripping away distractions, they create space for clarity. And that clarity kills stress at the root. You don't need to live in a monastery to practice this. You can start today. Ask yourself, what in my life is adding stress without adding value? Maybe it's the clutter in your home, the toxic friend you keep entertaining, or the endless goals pulling you in 10 directions. Each time you simplify, you take a stone out of the backpack you've been carrying across the river. Suddenly, the crossing becomes lighter. Here's the secret monks understand. Stress feeds on clutter the way fire feeds on fuel. The more stuff, mental, emotional, or physical, you carry, the more stress has to burn. But when you simplify, stress loses its grip. A simple life doesn't mean an empty life. It means a focused life, a powerful life. Because once you cut the noise, you finally hear what truly matters. Everywhere you look, pressure is rising. Deadlines that won't wait, bills that keep stacking, responsibilities at work, at home, and in relationships. Add to that the pressure of comparison, seeing everyone else's success online and feeling like you're falling behind. No wonder people feel like they're cracking under the weight. Most see pressure as an enemy that steals peace and destroys happiness. But monks, they flip the script. To them, pressure is not punishment, it's training. Think about the gym. When you pick up weights, they feel heavy. They make your muscles burn. They make you sweat. But you don't complain because you know that without the weight, your body stays weak. The same is true for your mind and your spirit. Life hands you weights in the form of stress, challenges, and responsibilities. If you collapse, the weight crushes you. But if you stand tall and carry it with discipline, you get stronger with every step. Monks design their lives around this principle. They wake before dawn, not because it's easy, but because it's hard. They sit in long hours of meditation, not because it's comfortable, but because it tests their patience. They live with less, not because they can't have more, but because simplicity builds strength. What looks like pressure from the outside is actually their chosen training ground. They lean into discomfort, and that's why they grow unshakable. Now, compare that with modern life. Most people treat pressure like a curse. They panic when work piles up, complain when responsibilities grow, and try to escape into distractions. But here's the truth. Escaping pressure doesn't make it disappear. It only makes you weaker when it comes back. Pressure is life's way of preparing you for the next level. Without it, you stay stagnant. Ask yourself this: when was the last time you grew stronger without facing a challenge? The answer is never. Every breakthrough in your life came after a season of stress, struggle, or responsibility. Pressure is not here to destroy you. It's here to reveal the strength you didn't know you had. Imagine two people facing the same challenge, a massive project at work. The first person complains, burns out, and lets the weight crush them. The second person takes a monk's approach, breathes, focuses, and treats the project like a training ground for discipline and focus. Same pressure, but the outcome is completely different. One person breaks, the other transforms. Here's the secret. Diamonds are created under pressure, not comfort. Muscles grow through resistance, not rest. And a calm, powerful mind is built by embracing challenges, not escaping them. The weight you're carrying right now, the deadlines, the bills, the responsibilities, they are not punishments. They are your personal training program, custom-built by life itself. So, the next time you feel pressure pressing down on your shoulders, don't say, "This is too much." Instead say, "This is my practice. This is my training." Because once you see pressure for what it really is, you stop fearing it and start using it. And that's when you discover the truth monks already know. Pressure doesn't break you. It builds you into someone unbreakable. When stress takes over, what's the first thing most people do? They reach for distractions. Netflix, endless scrolling, junk food, mindless chatter, anything to drown out the noise inside their head. And for a moment, it works. You feel a little relief, a temporary escape. But once the distraction fades, the stress comes rushing back, stronger than before. Why? Because distractions numb the pain, but they never heal it. Monks understand this deeply. That's why when the weight of stress grows heavy, they don't run toward more noise. They run toward silence. To them, silence isn't emptiness. Silence is medicine. Silence is strength. Silence is the reset button of the mind. Think about it. Every day, your brain is bombarded with information. Emails, notifications, deadlines, conversations, arguments. It's like a computer running too many programs at once. Eventually, it overheats, slows down, and crashes. What do you do with a computer in that state? You shut it down. You reset it. Silence is exactly that for the human mind. It clears the background noise, shuts off the endless chatter, and gives your system a chance to breathe. Monks sit in silence not to escape the world, but to face it with fresh clarity. When they sit quietly, their racing thoughts begin to settle, like muddy water that slowly becomes clear when left still. In silence, they can see their stress for what it really is, not an unstoppable monster, but a passing ripple in the river of life. Now, let's bring this to today's world. You don't need to become a monk or live in a monastery to practice silence. You can claim moments of silence even in the busiest life. Start small. 5 minutes in the morning before touching your phone. 5 minutes in the evening with no TV, no scrolling, no talking, just breathing, just being. That little pocket of silence can reset an entire day's worth of stress. Science agrees with this too. Studies show that silence lowers blood pressure, strengthens the immune system, improves memory, and even helps regenerate brain cells. But beyond the science, silence gives you something far more powerful: control. It gives you space between your emotions and your actions. And in that space lies freedom. Here's the trap of modern life. We mistake noise for progress. We think if we're busy, we're productive. If we're talking, we're solving. If we're consuming content, we're learning. But in reality, constant noise is what burns us out. True progress, true strength, comes from the ability to pause. to reset, to step away from the storm of distractions and return stronger. Imagine this. Two people are facing overwhelming stress. The first person runs to distractions, scrolling late into the night, numbing the stress for a while but waking up even more drained. The second person sits in silence, breathing deeply, letting the stress untangle itself in stillness. The next day, who do you think faces life with more clarity and strength? The one who chose silence. Silence is not weakness. It is not doing nothing. Silence is the most powerful action you can take against stress. It's the moment where you take back control from the chaos. It's where you stop reacting and start responding. It's where you reset not just your mind, but your entire life's direction. So the next time stress overwhelms you, don't reach for noise. Don't bury it in distractions. Instead, step into silence, even for a few minutes. Because in that silence, you'll find clarity, you'll find calm, and most importantly, you'll find yourself again. Stress is not here to destroy you. It is here to shape you. Every wave of pressure, every sleepless night, every challenge that makes your chest feel heavy is actually a silent teacher, testing whether you will collapse or rise. Most people see stress as punishment. Monks see it as practice. And that is the shift that changes everything. Think about it. The strongest steel is forged in the hottest fire. Diamonds are created under immense pressure. Muscles only grow when they are torn down first. Stress follows the same law of nature. It breaks you down in order to build you stronger. The problem is not stress itself. The problem is how you see it. If you see stress as an enemy, it becomes poison. If you see it as a teacher, it becomes power. Modern life throws endless stress at us. Deadlines, financial struggles, constant comparisons, unstable relationships, information overload. Most people run from it, distract themselves, or drown in it. But monks lean into it. They don't avoid discomfort. They sit with it. They breathe through it. They ask, what is this shaping in me? What strength is being built right now? Science backs this up. Psychologists have discovered something called stress mindset. People who believe stress harms them experience worse health, burnout, and even shorter lifespans. But those who believe stress sharpens them, who see it as fuel for growth, are healthier, stronger, and live longer. The same stress, but two completely different outcomes based only on how the mind interprets it. Now let's zoom out. Look at the giants of history. Nelson Mandela endured 27 years in prison, stripped of freedom, dignity, and comfort. But instead of drowning, he transformed that suffering into unshakable resilience and walked out a leader of a nation. The Buddha himself faced years of extreme hardship before reaching enlightenment. Every spiritual master, every revolutionary, every innovator, what set them apart was not a life free of stress, but the ability to turn stress into strength. Stress is a river. It keeps flowing, whether you want it to or not. You can either drown in its currents, thrashing helplessly, or you can train in its waters, stroke by stroke, until you become strong enough to glide. Monks remind us, the river is not the enemy, it is the training ground. So here's the mindset shift. Don't pray for less stress. Pray for greater strength. Don't ask life to stop testing you. Ask for the wisdom to use every test as fuel. The truth is, the people who grow the most, who achieve the most, who inspire the most, are not the ones who had it easy. They are the ones who learn to use their pain as power. The next time stress presses down on you, don't ask, why me? Ask, what is this making me? That one question turns breakdown into breakthrough. Stress doesn't shrink when you ask it. You grow. And in that growth, you realize what monks have always known. The river of stress never stops flowing, but you no longer fear it. You swim in it. You train in it. and eventually you master it. Life will never stop sending stress your way. The deadlines won't vanish, the struggles won't pause, the noise of the world won't go silent. The river will keep flowing. But here's the truth. Monks teach us, it's not about escaping the river. It's about learning to swim. Stress can either drown you or shape you. It can be the weight that breaks you or the resistance that builds you. The difference lies in how you face it. Ride the wave instead of fighting it. Breathe into the storm instead of suffocating in it. Simplify, focus, pause, and reframe every challenge as you're training. Because every moment of stress is a choice. Sink deeper or rise stronger. Monks don't find peace by running away from stress. They find peace by transforming it. And if you begin to do the same, you'll realize something powerful. The river that once threatened to pull you under can become the very water that carries you forward. So the next time stress knocks on your door, don't say, "Why me?" Smile, breathe, and say, "Train me."